Our live team coverage continues now with Guad Venegas, also live in Torrance, where authorities say the suspected gunman bought at least one of his weapons. Guad.
Jonathan, Kathy, we're getting more information and more details on these weapons. We now know that the suspect bought both a shotgun and a handgun, perhaps at a location just minutes away from the home which was raided last night. This morning we visited at least one of those stores, Cap Tactical. That's a store in Torrance just minutes away from where we are located. The store is closed on Sundays and Mondays, and just blocks away from there is a second store which he may have also purchased a firearm. Now, that second store has not been confirmed. I did speak with one of the managers, and I asked him about the process to purchase a firearm at any store in Torrance. He told me that all stores in California follow the same policy. He said anyone that comes to buy a weapon has to wait the minimum of 10 days. It could be up to 30 days, so anyone, including him, would have gone through that process. Now, we have learned, NBC News has learned, after speaking to a senior administration official from the Trump administration, that the Secret Service interviewed the suspect's sister, and she did confirm that he purchased firearms, or through that interview they confirmed he did purchase firearms from Cap Tactical. Now, it's also interesting that just blocks away from these stores, there's an address that has a connection to the suspect where he may have lived in the past. We are not showing images of that home because when we arrived, we did find a message that has been placed out front by the residents asking people for their privacy. They say they do not know the suspect or his family members. And all of that, of course, is just minutes away from this residence. Now, when it comes to the weapons, as this investigation continues, authorities are going to be looking into how he transported those weapons from California to D.C. It is believed that he boarded a train in Los Angeles to Chicago and then to D.C. So one of the things they're going to be looking into is how those weapons were with him on that train. I can tell you from traveling on trains here in Southern California that the security is, of course, not the same that you would find at an airport when you travel by air. So authorities will certainly be looking at that information of how, if the suspect did take those trains, how he had those weapons with him in his luggage. Jonathan, Kathy?
Guad, just interested, when you do travel by train, how much security is there? Is there any at all? Do you have to show them what's in your bag? Are they asking you any questions when you board?
Well, I can tell you, I personally boarded a train for one of these trips. It was a 4-hour trip in California, which would have been the same type of trip that he took, right? When you board with baggage, you can just bring it on by yourself. There's no one that checked the baggage when I boarded this train. And there's an area in each car where you can just place the baggage for larger bags, the ones that you would normally check in on a flight. They have an area on each one of these cars. And then if you have a smaller one, which is considered the carry-on, you can actually bring that with you and put it on top of the seat. This is just an example of something that I have observed, but there wasn't any type of security check to bring those bags. Now, he did take a train that went across state lines, so perhaps the security there would be different. But of course, when you go to a train station before you board a train, you don't go through the type of checkpoint that TSA would have at an airport. So again, this is something that the investigators will be looking at, how he had those bags perhaps in his baggage. And in fact, if it is confirmed that he did take these trains, that is believed that he boarded from California to Chicago and then Chicago to D.C.
All right, 2 legs there. Okay, thank you, Guad, for that.